it's Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I'm here today and we have a Jesse James beads project I'm super excited about. We designed it on morning coffee. I have a little sketch. Not my best sketch, but a sketch nonetheless. We designed on morning coffee the other day, so today we are going to be making a bracelet using what is left from Jesse James Beads Summer Fun Pack. Baby, You're a Firework. I was going to say fireworks, but I didn't think that was right. So we did make a necklace with this on the Friday live for Jesse James Beads. So please make sure that you are subscribing to Thunderhorse Descendant and to Jesse James Beads YouTube channel. And let's get to the mat. Get this party started. Here we are on the mat. This is the original sketch that we did on morning coffee. We're going to be making a multi-strand bracelet. And we're going to be using what's left of Jesse James Beads Summer Fun Collection. This one is Baby, You're A Firework. These are super cute, and I can't wait to get started. So all these items can be found on Jesse James Beads. The Summer Fun Packs, the leather cord USA we're going to be using, the 22 gauge artistic wire we're going to be using from Beaded. So with all that being said, let's jump right into the project. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 22 gauge artistic wire and we're going to bead our bead component portions. The rest we will fill in with leather. And we decided to make a multi-strand bracelet using what beads we had left, but we said we weren't going to fill them all with beads. We were going to do like leather, wire wrap some beads, finish it with leather. So we got a couple of different connections we're going to do today, so that's going to be fun. First and foremost, what we're going to do is we are just going to make our standard wire wrap loop. So you should have something that looks like this. And we're just going to wrap that around. And then I am going to trim it. I just am in a habit of trimming it. I don't care how small it is. It's a habit of trimming it and tuck it in. Want to make sure, no, it's not going to jump out and poke anybody. So these are the beads that we have left after doing the live project on Friday. The little necklace that we did. So this is supposed to match that for the most part. So we've got our loop going, and the first one that I'm going to do is a pretty easy one. Now these we did decide we were going to use for earrings. So I think we also said these ones as well. Not quite sure. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start, of course, with our sparklies. And I'm going to use one of these. This is going to act as a focal portion of our bracelet. So again, to finish this up, all you're going to want to do is just make your wire wrapped loop. So what I do is I just bend just about so this part of my plier almost touches the bead. Then I'm going to bring that over. I'm going to spin my plier, and then I take it all the way to the other side. So now you can just wrap it around. I go about 3 times. Easy peasy. Because we're all about easy peasy today, right? So I'm just going to tuck that in. There we go. So that'll be one little link on our leather bracelet. I'm just going to put that to the side. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 or 4 more to do. And again, I'm just Gonna start out this wrap here. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and use eye pins, you probably could do that, especially if you had a looper on hand. That would make it a lot easier, but I just prefer to use the wire. That's my personal preference, because then I can make them as long or as short as I'd like. Can use whatever gauge I want. Just makes it a little bit easier. So on these ones, we're going to use the bead caps and these little acrylic guys. Now these guys are acrylic, but they have a very interesting design on them. When we very first unboxed this Baby You're a Firework from the summer collection, I was very interested in these little guys right here. Okay. Well, what's going on there? There we go. So there's no rhyme or reason to my way I'm putting the beads on. No rules around here. You do what you want. I do want to make sure that my loops are about the same size. So I am wire wrapping on the same place on my round nose. I'm trying to every time. If you struggle with that, you can go ahead and take a permanent marker and make a mark on it so you know where it is. I just am very used to it by now. I just gravitate. I almost feel like it's muscle memory. All these loops that I'm doing. So now we have 2. Okay. And now we're going to do some smaller ones. And get some more of this wire out. We're going to do with smaller beads. Okay, so for this one, these are going to be on our charms. These are going to be on our charms. These, I think we said we're going to go over there. So I'm just going to take some of these small blue Chinese crystals and put those on. And I'm going to put on a few of these. And I do want to make 2 of these using the smaller beads, since these ones are a little bit larger. So I am kind of just keeping an eye on what I have for beads here. And it can be as short or as long as you'd like it to be. Just gonna go with this. This is just for fun and for the 4th of July, just for fun beading. No rules around here. You make your patterns how you want to. Easy peasy. So let's put that in there. So we have that one. So like I said, I'm going to make another little, using the little beads. Excuse me. think I will just make the same pattern as that one to give this bracelet a little bit of cohesiveness. That's all she wrote about our little blue crystals. And wrap and cut and tuck it in. That one didn't roll in like I like it, but there we go. Now she is. She's trying to curl up. Okay, so now we got 2 of those. So now we have 2 and 2. As you know, I don't, for the most part, like to work in even numbers. So we are going to make one more. I prefer to work my designs in odd numbers. So we're going to make one more. Alrighty. So now I'm thinking if I did want to make a little tiny necklace, I could just go like that. Have these 2 on the end, so I might do that. So really, if I put those to the side, I might only have this. And I think I'll go 1, 2, all the little gold things in the middle, kind of as a focal point. 1, 2. Looks kind of cute. Digging it. I'm digging it. All right. So now that we have all of these made, we are ready to bust into the leather. So let me just give you an idea what we're working with here. So I'm kind of bending these a little bit. So we're going to make multi-strand bracelet. We're going to start out with our leather, and we're going to, some of these we're going to connect right on to here. But we're also using this, now this is a 1mm leather cord from Leather Cord USA. Jesse James Beads does have 1mm cord on their website. So I'm just going to take a little snippet of this leather. This is a dark espresso brown color. It almost looks black. And I'm going to just go ahead and tie right in on our lobster clasp. Okay. I'm just going to tie an overhand knot. You can tie a barrel knot if you want to, sliding knot if you want to. Today is an easy peasy day, so I'm going just with an overhand knot. That's what I'm doing. Now the reason that we're going to leave some of this open here is because we're going to add these little tassels and things as extras, but I am going to put a little jump ring, larger jump ring on there, I think, because I want them to move. You know, your girl loves movement. So I'm looking for a good, this one will work. This must be what, an 8? These are an 8. So I'm just connecting a couple of these tassels and things onto this 8mm jump ring. These are actually from Beaded. And I don't know if I'll use all these, but better safe than sorry, right? A couple of different kinds. We got them, might as well use them. Maybe I'll put 2 of those on there. That's cute. Alrighty. So got those good to go. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I am going to actually add, let me see if this is going to go over the top of my knot. It is. Okay. So if I put 1 on there, yeah, that'll work. Put 1 on there and tie another overhand knot. So overhand knots really do eat up your leather cording, just FYI on that. All knots do. But just want that to move a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put on another tassel. And I'm going to tie another overhand knot. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these 8mm jump rings and we're going to go in here, we're going to attach into this loop, and we are going to attach one of our larger beaded links. Okay, just like that. So for right now, you don't even need to worry about this tail or anything. And then I'm going to attach with another one of these large jump rings, one of the smaller links. Whichever one you feel comfortable with is completely up to you. Easy peasy. Okay. And then we're going to attach our end clasp, or our end link. So now these I did just pick up out of my stash. They're just links, larger links. I was seeing if I could put that through there, which I don't think I can. That's fine. And I'm just going to use these large links, or these connector links, as the ending for my bracelet. So when I go to put my bracelet on, it's going to be like so, right? So this would actually probably be big enough for me. Let me take a look-see in the bracelet sizer. Oh yeah, this is 7 3/4 with the link on there. So that's a pretty average size. If you needed it to be smaller, of course, you would just back up on your leather. You could even, like, even if you already had a knot here, just FYI, you could untie this knot and make it a little smaller if you wanted, or you could just tie another knot over the top of it. That's why we didn't take the tail off, in case you got to do some adjusting for size wise. So if I'm gonna make this to fit me, I gotta back it up a little bit, because remember, I got that little wrist. There we go. So I backed it up just a smidge, and now I have 6 3/4, just about a 7. So that's more my speed. I'm going to keep it at that. I am not going to cut these off yet because I have not decided if I want to maybe put something on there or not. So I'm just going to leave them for now. So now if I was going to sell this bracelet, or I was going to use it for give it as a gift to somebody, I don't know how big their wrist is, I'm just going to add another link. You could just add another link if you needed to, just by adding with this 8mm jump ring. So now you got 2 sizes. If you need 2 sizes, you got them. Okay, and nobody's the wiser. So I am just going to go ahead and leave it like that. And we're going to move on to the next piece of the bracelet. So again, I'm going to get myself some leather. I'm getting about, what is this? I would say it's probably a foot, but just to be certain, let's just give it a little measure. Oh, I lied. It's about 16 inches. But like you said, you're going to have some left over. But so now this time, I'm going to come back this way. I'm going to work backwards because I want, as we're making these multi-strands, I want to make the leather, you know, kind of even out. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to just connect into this link. Right? And I'm just going to even it out again, overhand knot. Okay, so now we are started on our second. We're going to do the same thing we did here, just on this side. Okay, so I'm going to add a tassel. I think I will add a blue one first this time, just for funsies. So I just put that tassel on one of the strands. I'm going to tie both strands overhand knot. And then I'm going to come in with my red tassel and do the same thing. So again, we don't know if that is exactly where we need it to be. I think it's pretty dang close. Might be a little long, but we'll see how long. We also use different beads on this side. So now I'm going to put the sparkly beads. Just connecting into this leather piece behind the knot. And take another one of these jump rings and connect the smaller beading portion. Gonna unhook this so we can see what we're doing here. So this one was actually a little bit short. So what I'm gonna do to remedy that, oh, I ran out of jump rings, is I'm gonna take some jump rings and I'm just gonna run some jump rings right here. Give us a little extra length. I'm going to throw in this one that looks like, or the one that has the tassel on it. Easy peasy. And I don't think I'll have to go far, really. These two I'm saving out for the end. And let's see, is that one connected on? That one, that enough or is it a little long? I think that one might be one too many. I'm going to take that one off of there. So take that one off and connect with this one. Oh yeah. Okay, so now what we're looking at is our multi-strand right here. I know it looks crazy right now because it's still got all those leather pieces on there. But we're doing great. Doing great. So now I'm going to put another strand of leather. But with this one, I'm going to connect it all the way from this side to this side. Okay? But I am going to use this little one for the middle. So I think what I'll do, or not for the middle, for the connector. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to actually connect this one. I'm like, which side do I want it on? I think this side because this one already has one. So I'm going to connect it right on with a jump ring. Onto this loop. And then I'm going to get my leather, another 15 inches. And I'm going to connect right here into the end of that link. Double it on down, make sure it's even. Gonna give it a knot. Okay, and then wonder. These will fit on there. Oh yeah, they do. So I'm just tying loose knots just to get to this side here. So this one I'm going to kind of push down to the end a little bit. Yep. So that I can connect on to my lobster claw. I do think this one could go up just a smidgy. Just a little bit. There we go. All right, now what we'll do is we'll go in and we're going to give it a haircut. So if you want to do this, you can go ahead and hit these knots with just a little smidge of Loctite glue. Just on the ends. You don't have to, but if you want to do that, you can. So this is Loctite Control Gel Glue. This is what Leather Cord USA suggests you use with their leather. One of the items they suggest. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut at an angle these little cords. This is not the right cutter for that. And you can leave them as long or as short as you like. Completely up to you. So, gotta give that just a little second to get dried up. In the interim, I'm gonna start working on my little tassels over here. So now these, I am just going to put on one jump ring. Got a blue one and a red one. How festive. Where'd I go? And put this one on there. And then it's up to you if you are going to have one or two links. If you have one, connect to one. If you have two, you can connect to the second one. Whatever you want to do. I'm just going to connect to the second one for right now. And that is what we got. Is that festive or what? It's like a whole super awesome stack. Looks like a stack when you put it on. Let me put it on the bracelet form. And then we will make our earrings. So we got 7.5 inches. That's on the second link. Now, if we go to the first link, we got about 6 3/4. And this is what she looks like. So when you have this on, this will be dangling down. So you either want that or you don't. But you got all this stack of beads and leather in there. And you got these little hardwares on the side, which make it look super cute. So that's how she looks. I'm just going to go ahead and give her a little try on. I should probably be in the first one. You guys. What? Look at that. So good. And if you didn't want that, you just take that off of there. No big deal. I dig it. I dig it. It looks like you're wearing a whole stack of bracelets even though you're only wearing one. Which I like because, you know, your girl loves to wear a lot of bracelets. And sometimes it can get kind of be like a pain in the butt to have to put them on and off all the time. 18 bracelets and whatever you got. So there is that one done. Now we move in to the earrings. I'm going to zoom you in for the earrings. I'm going to just move this out of the way a little bit. So my idea here, again, we're using the same materials. So I'm using the 22 gauge gold artistic wire from Beaded. And I want to make 2 loops here. So on the first loop, I'm just going to make a rosette. I'll probably do that with this one. So I'm going to go around 1, tuck that little pointy thing in, 2, 3, when you get back to where you started, straight out, take it off the plier, flip it upside down. Now your spinny is at the top. Take the bottom, go through the little spiral you made, and pull it down. I gotta get my plier. Ba-dum-ba-da. And now you got a little rosette. You should do that probably with a nylon plier. I finally found mine. Just making sure that sharp part is in. So now I'm going to just I'm going to put my 1 flower bead cap and my super sparkly ball on there. . How's that looking? Oh, it looks pretty good. Do I want to do that? I'm debating. Do I want to do this one on the top? Yeah, I think I will put my bead cap on the top, so it looks a little finished. And then I'm just going to make a loop. So wire wrapping. So this is going to be my dangly portion of my earring. Okay, so now I'm going to make the top portion of my earring. So I'm going to start out with my loop, but before I close it, I'm going to go ahead and attach this guy right on there like so. Okay, and I take my chain nose and I'm going to put it right where the loop meets. The reason for that is so that the loop keeps its shape while you're spinning. It also makes it easier for you to complete this little wire spin if it has something to nudge up against. So we got that going on for us. Get that out of the way. Alrighty. So now what I want to do is I want to put on one of these super sparkly crystals, and then I want to stack these up. Now some are red and some are blue, so I got to make sure that I got enough to make each side. So these are blue, these are red, these are blue, blue, red. Okay, so we'll have one red and one blue, and one red and one blue. So 4 for each side. So now I'm just going to stack them up. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. So I got red, blue, red, blue. Okay, I would like to have, I'm going to grab just a little bead from the bead soup just to stick inside of there, just because I think that'll help it when the bead is pushing it down. It's going to keep that stack together a little bit better. So I got 2 little red crystals here. Well, maybe I do. Those are not the same size. Well, there's a white one. That's a bigger one. 2 white ones. I just think we got to have a bead on top here to help us to keep that stack in place, since it is a stack of spacers or of spacer rondelles. So I'm going to put this white bead on. And hey, it's not like it's gonna hurt our theme or anything, right? So I got them on there. So now I am going to want to wire wrap this pretty tight, because I don't want it to be sliding around while trying to wear it. Okay. Give that a little work harden. Hey, super spectacular 4th of July earrings. I'll do one more, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, now all we gotta do is just add 2 little ear wires, and we are good to go. Easy peasy. Okay, let's take a look at the entirety of our project here. I will, of course, get you some little video and a few photos of the finished projects. Oh, I hear Jakey toes, a hound dog. All right, so there we go. Nice festive 4th of July red, white, and blue multi-strand bracelet and earrings. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.